Welcome to Heart of Philly. Tonight we're at the Walnut Street Theater for the opening of The Humans, and we're with one of the lead actresses here. Hi, what is your name?
My name is Jenny
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower.
You did an amazing, your role was really great.
Thank you.
Really good, and we loved the play. We really enjoyed it. I loved your character.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell us about The Humans. What do you...
I think the thing that's awesome about it is that it's super relatable to just about any person in America if you have a family. If you have a mom and a dad, and exactly. It's a super. The writing is really contemporary. It's really sharp. It's witty, but it's also really emotional. So it does a lot in one night. So I love being a part of it. I hope the audiences are enjoying. They seem to be enjoying it as well.
Well, I can say just from coming here and being able to see the show, you touched on everything in just a few minutes. It is. It's all about family and a lot of emotions that families go through, and you captured it all beautifully. It's really nice. So there is some comedy and there are some serious points there too, but it just really gets to the heart of what family's about, because that's what we all deal with.
Yeah.
And you really portrayed it very well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We had a great time tonight, so it's good audience.
Yeah, and they were laughing and they were quiet. Do you feel that?
Yeah,
The audience was really quiet.
They're definitely like our seventh character. Like they're part of our experience as much as the people on stage are.
You can feel it on the stage.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
When
yeah.
It's real quiet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're feeling it. It's awesome.
Got it.
Yeah.
They're really getting what we're
Yeah.
saying.
It feels really good when that happens. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome
Thank you
job.
for
It was
coming.
great meeting you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Hey, what's all that?
You guys went out of your way to get here, so
What is it?
what did you get us?
Thank you. Eric, I want to say the wrapping.
Oh, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
Photo package.
Man, were we ever this young? Look how young you are, Amy.
I'm an elephant in this world.
Oh, you're beautiful.
And I'm holding a funnel cake. I can't even blame genetics.
So nice to meet you. You did an amazing job. I love your character. Tell me a little bit about your character.
Oh, she's outspoken. I think she's like a lot of millennials, honestly. I think she kind of feels like she has it all figured out, but she really only has the day-to-day figured out. She doesn't have a lot of that big picture awareness yet. So the contrast between her and her parents is so big.
Right. I can see that.
But I think she's a lot like her dad. She's stubborn. She's strong in her opinions, and she won't back down.
You can see that too, and you really can see the
resemblance.
the father and daughter.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of families, that little conflict.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems to be a conflict, but they're very much alike.
Absolutely, which is why it's a conflict.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
yeah, because we can never agree, otherwise we'd be wrong. We can't be wrong.
And you think you're so different. Like, I'm never going to be that way. I'm never going to be that way.
Right.
And
But we're all like our parents.
That's
Absolutely. I'm exactly like my dad. We
I'm like-
fight all the time.
I'm like my dad too.
Yes,
My mother used to always say that. You're just like your father.
Yeah,
But no,
just
I'm
like
not.
your
I'm
father.
nothing like him. I'm nothing like him. Not at all like him.
Nothing like
and then
him.
you hear yourself saying things.
I know, and you can't stop it. It just falls out of your mouth.
But your character is just really full of life, like this independent young woman moves to New York, from where? Pennsylvania?
From Scranton,
Scranton,
Pennsylvania.
Farmland.
Yeah, farmland.
To New York City, and it's really cool. And living with her boyfriend.
I know, it's a big step.
Right.
Big step in their
Taboo
relationship.
with the parents, too.
I know, they're a
Taboo.
little upset about it. They're a little concerned. We're not married,
But
so...
they took it really well.
They did. They were trying to be really supportive, which I really appreciate.
And you know what else I like? I like the way your grandmother is there and
Oh,
how
yeah.
close you are to her. You didn't forget all of that. And
No.
So they incorporate a little bit of everything in the show.
Yeah.
And it's just really great. It's really great. You did an awesome
Oh,
job.
thank you so much. I'm so glad that you liked it. Yes, thank you. Enjoyed meeting you.
So you have to come and see.
Oh,
You have to see
absolutely.
this performance. She did an amazing job.
Thank you.
My family. That's the short version. I'm glad we're together. Special thanks to Richard for preparing this meal, since we know what a lousy cook Bridget is.
Yes, it's true.
And now we're with Sharon Alexander. Hi, Sharon. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet
And you
you
were
too.
the grandmom in this show.
Yes, I was. I was Momo, the grandmother.
Momo was
Momo. Yes.
Momo. I'm a Mimo.
Oh, I've heard that too. I've heard that before.
The new little baby girls came
Oh.
back to back in
Oh, how
December.
wonderful. Momo.
I love your part because you really captured like a person with Alzheimer's, is it? Alzheimer's that you
Yes,
have?
very severe
Severe
Alzheimer's. Yes.
Alzheimer's, and you really captured all the movements, all the sounds.
Thank you so
and
much.
very well.
Thank you so
Very
much.
well. You did an awesome job.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about what it took to get into that whole part. Yeah.
Well, what I did was, I observed a lot of Alzheimer patients on YouTube.
Yes.
And I have seen some people with Alzheimer's when both of my parents were in a nursing home. But I pretty much, just did it from little things that I remember and things that I saw on YouTube. The language was her speech was very difficult to learn because it was like a foreign language, but it made no sense.
I think that's what I thought was really amazing too. You really captured that well.
Oh,
You
good.
really,
That was
really
extremely
captured that
difficult.
well.
That I just had to. I worked on it for months, and I memorized it as if it were song lyrics. And some of it actually, once I got into it, it was kind of a lilting rhythm, like song lyrics would be. And a lot of the dialogue was also, not a lot of it, but there were some phrases and words that were repeated a lot. So those, I tried to give them my own interpretation so that I knew exactly, like she said, sawn it on a lot. And that was actually my, I won't say it, but expletive, which I do say at the end of the show. But, I use that as my anger, sawn it on, right. Those kinds of things. So it was difficult to memorize, very difficult.
How long does it take to prepare for a show like this?
Oh, do you mean our rehearsals all together as a cast, or just my own work?
Maybe your own person.
Well, it took me. I worked on it for several months to learn the script, and it doesn't seem like a lot when it's up there because it's kind of under a lot of the other dialogue. And so you don't always hear everything I'm saying, but I tried to do it exactly the way it was on the page.
And the timing has to be perfect.
Exactly.
Your timing with all your reactions.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was very good.
Oh, thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. It was a real challenge for me. I've never done anything like this, and I do mainly musicals. But I've been doing a lot more plays. So.
Are you from this area?
I'm from Ewing, New Jersey.
Oh, my son lives there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I live right up from the canal, up from the Delaware, right across from York.
He's right across the street now.
Oh.
It runs like right near.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You probably live really close near Irini's restaurant. Irini's restaurant.
Ah, what the
Up from 29.
I'll ask him. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you. You did a great
so
job.
much.
And
Nice to
I
talk
know
to
that
you.
everyone will love the show. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Look, how about I go up there and ask him to just please keep it down.
The whole building groans sometimes. We have 2 sets of earplugs.
I'm showing Dad how creaky the floors are.
Okay, you don't have to do that.
Okay, honey, boy, groove
Now we're with Greg Wood, and he played part of the father. You
Yes.
did a great job.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it.
Thank you. It's probably one of the best contemporary plays I've ever read and been a part of. It really is. A lot of times in theater we go, it's my line, your line, just so. But this sense of overlapping dialogue and just the way people would talk normally, you just don't get it as often in the theater as I would like. And when you get a play like this, where it's nothing but, it's really pretty great. So.
I understand what you're saying, Ed, because you can see the overlapping, but it just blended really well too. And it was you really portrayed what a family.
I think that's the other good thing
in
of
a
it.
family home.
Yeah, capturing what a family really is together. I think this play does it really well. Yeah. In all of its permutations, being happy and joyous together, having fights and arguments and disagreeing and learning things about somebody else that you didn't know, and you find out all of a sudden in the middle of dinner and you have to deal with it. Yeah, it's.
And how many times we all do that? We're all
No, not
sitting
enough.
at a table,
Well, yeah, when we're at our families, we
get
do
to
it all the
sit,
time, right?
And it all plays out, and then you really captured it. It was
Thank
amazing.
you.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Very well
I love
done.
doing it.
And I love all the emotions and all the ups and downs of it, and then it all just blended out. It was funny, and it just caught these emotions that made you really think. And do you feel that too when the crowd gets quiet?
Absolutely.
They're really feeling what you're.
Yeah, I mean,
saying.
one of the touch tones are, when people laugh, particularly because the dialogue's fast. But when there's these moments where we're hoping that if people laugh, we know that they're still with the story. They've listened to it up to that point, and we know that now that they're with us, we can do the stuff that's a little heavier, and we know they're going to be there. Maybe a little quieter at times too. So far, so good.
It's good, and that's right, very good.
Because it's a big theater in there.
And have you been to this theater before?
Oh yeah.
This is a beautiful theater.
And the sense of history is what I love. I mean, you can't help but walk out on that stage and go, wow, Barrymore was here. A lot of the greats were here. Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor were on here. Paul Newman. You just have to walk through the lobby and see all the people that were here. They come back, Little Sheba and Streetcar Named Desire had its tryout here before it went to Broadway. So, Brando and Jessica Tandy, it's in the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
Yeah,
and
it
then
is.
to find yourself up on that stage.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
feel like
I have
you're
to take a
walking
little
in-
breath.
Yeah.
I really, really do. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. I
Oh,
just
you're
wanted to
welcome.
thank you.
Oh,
You did
it's-
an awesome job. It was a great meeting you.
Nice meeting
And I know that our viewers are going to love the show.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, please come and see it. And let us know what you feel about it, because the ending. I don't want to give too much away. The ending is it's left up in the air what actually happens to him. So
I like that part.
I do too.
Because it was like,
yeah, and I have my opinion about what happens, but we've heard. I can't even tell you how many different stories we heard about what happens at the end of the play.
Dad, we're waiting on you. Hey, you want to start us off?
No, I always start too high and you yell at me.
Oh, all the money that e'er I
Oh my
had.
God, get over here. That's a terrible key for me. Okay, Moms. All the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. Ladies. And all the harm that e'er I done, alas, was done to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. Lay down your fears and raise your glass. May peace and joy be with you all. Take a verse, oh, may all the friends that e'er I had, they'd be sorry at my going away.
I'm a lawyer.
And may all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they would wish me one more day to stay.
Oh, if I had money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while, there is a maiden in this town who sorely has my heart beguiled.
Yeah, better be me.
Her pale white cheeks, her skin of snow, I will not rest till she comes to call.
Take it home.
I love you, Heart of Philly.
I love you, Heart of Philly.
I love you, Heart of Philly.
I love you, Heart of Philly.